Hi everyone. So today we are going to create a very clean, modernized, no makeup look, which you can do it on yourself on daily basis. Or if you are the person who like very minimal makeup but need to look presentable, this video is for you. So let's get started. Okay, so before you start doing a makeup, you always have to make sure you clean your face very well. Make sure there is no product on your face before you start makeup. This is the key thingy that you need to follow. This is the only reason sometimes your makeup get cakey or doesn't turn out so well. So after cleansing the face, I'm going to use a Dalba serum spray. This spray is my go to for all skin type because it is very hydrating. It gives a really glowy effect to your skin. So if you have a dry skin, you can use this mist, or if you have a oily skin, you can also use this one as well, but you need to be very mindful that you need a very less quantity of that because it's very hydrating. It makes your skin look little oily. So after that, I used a toner from Thayers. So this toner is really great for the people who has dry skin, and it sits really well under makeup. So my model skin is very dry, so I used this toner on her face, and then I used the Dalba's serum. This step is very optional. If you think your skin is fully hydrated, you really don't need much hydration on your face, then you can skip this step. But I feel I need it, so that's why I used. To finish the skin prep, the final step is moisturizer. So I used Embroily's moisturizer. This moisturizer is really good for the people of all skin types. This also works as face primer. So if you really don't want to use a primer, you can totally skip that step and directly apply this moisturizer. Except the people who has a very oily skin or those who has a pore, then they need to use a mattifying primer or so. Otherwise, you can totally skip that step. And after that, I use the under eye patches and a lip balm. So if your lips are dehydrated, your eyes need a little hydration, then you can add this step as well. So for the eyebrows, you always have to start by cleansing your eyebrows, and I used Benefit Cosmetics eyebrow pencil for that. So if you see, I'm going it very light-handedly because I want a very natural looking eyebrows. And after that, I fill the gap with the Anastasia brow pot. Then coming to the eye makeup, I started with Too Faced concealer. I used a very tiny amount of concealer on the eyelid because I really don't want to go very heavy because we are creating a very minimal eye look. So that's why I used very minimal concealer. I blended it properly, and then I used the powder from Charlotte Tilbury. So this step is very important when you are doing your eye makeup. You need to set your eyes properly with the powder. You can use a loose powder, you can use a compact powder, but you have to use it so your lid doesn't crease. So after that, I started with the Makeup by Mario palette. From this palette, I took a lighter shade at first. I always started my eye makeup with this step. I always took a very lighter shade that matches to the skin tone and applied all over the lid. And then I go ahead with the Makeup by Mario eye pencil. I took a brown shade and I'm applying to the outer corner. So why I took this eye pencil before applying any eye color? Because I need that intensity around the eyes. So whenever you apply any creamy product on your eyelid, it always gives you more intensive colors. So I need to create an eye look which is very sharp towards the corner. So that's the only reason I used the cream product. And after that, I used a similar shade of Makeup by Mario palette and adding the product and then blending it outward. So I added that same shade to the crease as well and then blended it properly. You always have to make sure there are no creases when you do your eye makeup. It shouldn't look very harsh. So you always have to make sure there are no harsh lines. You always have to blend it properly. And then I used a very lighter shade from Makeup by Mario palette on the eyelids, and I'm taking that darker shade towards bridge of the nose because I'm going to match it with the nose contour later. Then we are almost finished with the eye makeup. Then I use the brow gel on eyebrows because if you have a very bushy eyebrows that your hair doesn't set properly, then you really need to use eyebrow gel because this works really well those who have very bushy eyebrows. Then I'm doing a tight lining. This step is totally optional, but if you want your eyes to be very defined and it looks really very sharp, then this step works really well. But you always have to be make sure if you're doing it yourself or doing on your clients that you're not going to hurt, because those people who has very sensitive eyes, you need to be very, very careful. And as you see, my model's eyelashes are very straight, so I have to use the eyelash curler, and then I put the false lashes, and then I top it on with Maybelline Sky High mascara. This mascara is my all-time favorite because I used it on almost my every clients since I started doing makeup, and this works really well. After that, I came to the base, and as we are doing very clean look, so I used a Dior foundation. It's a Dior Skin Glow foundation. If you want a very skin-like finish, then this foundation is best. You always have to make sure how you want your base to be or how you want your makeup. Product choices really matters a lot, because if you want a heavy coverage, then this product might not work for you. But if you want a very skin-like coverage, then this product is really, really good. As you can see, like, we did a very minimal coverage. I didn't use any color corrector on her face, and then I directly go ahead with the Dior's full coverage concealer. This concealer is really good for the dry skin, and I took a very tiny amount of concealer and I didn't drag the product towards the cheek, and then I did a little spot correction. Okay, so this is a tip, guys. So when you are using a very less coverage foundation and you see that later on your dark spots are still showing through, so it's not always that you need to color correct your face before, or you need to use a heavy concealer under your foundation. You can always spot correct your face after foundation as well. So this is what I'm doing. I'm taking a similar shade of concealer, and I'm just applying it on the area where I can see the dark spots, and I'm just blending it very light handedly. This is the tip, guys. If you are using a very less coverage foundation, or you're not using a lot of foundation on your face, then after that you can spot correct your face. If you have any dark spots, you can do it later after foundation as well. And then I used contour from Morphe just to give a little shape to her face. I used it very less because I don't want it to go very intense, so that's why I used a very minimal product. And then I go ahead with the Rare Beauty. This blush is very, very pigmented. If you're doing a very no makeup look, then you need to take a little dot on back of your hand, and I just dip the brush into the product and then emulsify it a bit, and then I apply it to her face. That way it doesn't give me a lot of pigment. Otherwise, this is very pigmented, and it's really, really, really good. After that, I set the face with Charlotte Tilbury powder. You have to go very light-handedly. I took a brush and emulsified it on back of my hand, and I applied it under the eyes and all over the face, because I really don't want it to go for a lot of powder. Then for the lips, I used the Makeup Forever lip liner. So this step is very important. When you line your lips, you always have to make sure that your lips are looking even from both sides. It's not that you always have to follow your natural lip line. Maybe your natural lips are not that defined. So with the lip liner, you can always line your lips properly. You can properly define your lip shape, and then go ahead with the lipstick. So for the lipstick, I used Sephora's lip tint, and I mixed it with Charlotte Tilbury lipstick. And this is how the lip color is looking. And then I top it on with the Fenty lip gloss. This is what the shade I was looking for. And at the end, if you want, you can set base with the loose powder as well. Her face was looking very shiny, so I took a very little powder and I emulsified on the back of my hand, and I just dab it a little bit to the under eyes onto the other parts which looks very shiny. So always you can change the steps in between. It's not that you always have to follow the rule. And then I finished my makeup with the Urban Decay All Nighter Glowy Mist, and this is the final look. This is how it's looking. I hope you guys like it. This is how you can create your very minimal no makeup look. And if you guys like it, let me know in comments, and I'll see you in my next video.